You can't expect a 2,000 man online event to hit some snags. Don't be like the 33.4% of you guys have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can get to 100K. I wanted to kind of just talk about the YCS yesterday and just kind of some of the experiences, the dumb shit I saw from our player base, among other things. First of all, I want to give a nice little uplifting talk here. I just want to say thank you, judges, for everything that you guys put through yesterday. All right, I saw a lot of complaints from a lot of players actually just bashing Konami staff, being like, F these judges, like, bro, I don't know if you guys like know this, but like they had to sit through and endure all of the long rounds yesterday and all of this stuff too, and people are pointing fingers at the judges and be like, no, it's the judges' fault. No, it's not. They separated the player base into 4 pods, and one of the biggest things that I'm pretty sure everything had to be ran on a universal clock, right? All 4 pods had to go continuously to maintain presence with the feature matches that were happening on stream. So you can't blame Konami, or you can't blame the judge staff, because they're the ones that are trying to make sure that the event's going smoothly. You have 4 different tournaments within one tournament that you have to keep universal across the board. So if the player base is, complaining about this, stop complaining about that, all right? Things are going to take time when you have 4 universal pods, running simultaneously that have to be kept on the same clock. So stop that shit right now, all right? Judge staff worked their fucking asses off of this player base yesterday, and I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and enjoy the constant bashing, being like, no, the judge staff are the ones that are ruining the tournament experience. No, they're not. All right, stop that. So, with that being said, all right, 4 universal pods. All right, the bot stopped working. Oh my god! So round 1, this was one of my favorite things. The bot for reporting died, like, what was it, halfway through. I think there was up to like a 2-minute lag on the bot, getting all the round 1 drops. And if you guys really want me to be honest with you, I think that was probably one of the funniest things of the entire event, was just watching the bot lag out. And then unfortunately, the judge staff has to kind of step in, make sure that they're monitoring everything, making sure that everything's reported in that, lag spike there, because unfortunately, I hate to tell you guys this, but somebody's got to pick up the slack. Across 4 servers with 2,000 people, what do you expect is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, it's not built to handle that? I mean, I honestly, for as much as I think actually happened and went through the day yesterday, it's honestly probably one of the least worrisome things. Now, there were, I believe, was it 14 hours of live stream? No, I think it was, so the event started at 1 p.m., right? EST. And then I believe officially the last round of Swiss, let me double check here. I believe the last round of Swiss ended at literally, like 1 a.m.? No, it was later than that. Holy crap. Final standings were posted at 2:41 a.m. That's a 14-hour gap in between things. All right, so for 9 rounds, what is that, like 40 minutes, 50 minutes in between some rounds, 30 minutes? I'll be honest with you, that doesn't surprise me that it went that far. The pod that I was in, 79 players were left at the end of the day. Want me to be honest with you guys? You guys wanted the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament experience back, right? Nothing like rolling up to play an event at yield 10 a.m., leaving at midnight. Seeing these tournaments running 14 hours, this is not unheard of, all right? I hate to tell you guys that. Now, some of the fucking funny things that we saw in chat, there were screenshots of a guy from, what was it, Pod 1, I believe, that was trying to sell his 101 pyramid mat. He's like, hey, yo, anybody want to buy my pyramid mat? And you sit here and you take a moment here, and you're like, what do you mean? Why are you, I guess, you saw this stuff back at IRL events anyway, where players are running around out here trying to sell things, even though it's against tournament policy. But I mean, hey man, that won't stop your player base it's from trying to replicate the tournament experience out here. All right. The other thing that I saw actually was in my pod was I saw somebody out here was begging for them to send them another playmat. And I don't know why in the heck we had begging in the server. I don't know how I feel about that. That was just straight weird AF to me. Watching this guy in chat sitting here begging, being like, oh, somebody send me an extra playmat. Bro, like, the heck are you doing out here in main chat? Now, of course, with every YCS, you're going to have the standard, oh no, like, my opponent was cheating. And then, of course, you guys know you're not supposed to be recording any of your matches whatsoever because it's against tournament policy. My favorite thing that I love seeing from the player base is like, no, screw the rules, I'm going to record my... Okay, you get caught, you're going to literally get disqualified, or you're going to get some sort of penalty for this. Like, you do know that, right? Like, it states in the policy documents that you're not supposed to do something. Meanwhile, the player base is just straight like, nah, bro, I'm not going to listen. I never understood that. Of course, one of the horrifying incidences that I heard about was somebody picking up side deck cards, cards falling on the floor. Standard incident of, oh my god, like now my opponent has more cards in their hand than they previously stated. That was standard stuff you always hear every event. Another favorite one that I heard was the two first people that were on the feature match, neither of them reported a win or something, and neither of the judges on the feature match reported a win. So evidently both players were dropped after, round 1 or something. I don't have any confirmed validity for that, but if that ends up being true, that's kind of hilarious to me at the end of the day. Like, imagine you're the round 1 feature, everything's going yeehaw great for you, and you're like, oh no. The one cool thing I did like about this event was the basic premise that they actually did a lot of feature matches here. It was actually kind of nice to see that we had that YCS field back where you could apply for, the old feature match, and you could get it online. I really did miss that feel for the older events, and I think that they did a fantastic job kind of bringing that former YCS experience back. It's just, no matter what happens in a new YCS, you're going to have the same stupid things happening over and over, whether or not it be from begging. There was another incident out here I believe I was hearing about. It was something about another player was cursing at another player and ended up getting a game loss or something for this. All right, that sounds like the old typical YCS experience. All right, I don't know what to really say about that. All right, like there's always the one guy that, especially when you've been sitting here for like 8 hours or something, like the tension's already building for you. It's why we always talk about these events are like just clearly an endurance match. All right, and I can't say that is it cool that happened, because no, it's not. You should always maintain some sort of level head when it comes to these events, but that just kind of sucks. All right, but you know what? I guess a game loss well deserved, or a match loss, whichever penalty ended up being given out for that. There's all kinds of boogeyman stories that you hear out here with these events. I mean, no YCS will ever be ran 100% carefree. I also want to give a shout out here to all the round 1 people that had to sit there and get the free wins. I actually walked up on my round 1 opponent and I was like, hey, how's your day? He's like, I have to play you? I was like, no man, I'm dropping. I'm not dealing with this today. Here's your free W. And he was massively happy. I also definitely enjoyed some of the copy pasta that were going around. I saw that the progression text was being spammed in the chat earlier in the day. You got to give it to the player base, ladies and gentlemen. They come up with some of the funniest things out here. Also, shout out to the Mystic Mind players out here getting those free 2-0s. It's round 6. You've been in the tournament for 8 hours and you sit down to play your round. You're like, okay, I'm X2 on the bubble. And then the Mystic Mind player whips out his deck and you're like, oh no. Yeah. Real life story. My friend Tintin got 2-0'd by Eldritch. They were X2 going into the last round. They've endured so much at this point in time. And you're just like, oh yeah, guess I lose now. That pretty much summarizes your YCS experience. All right. I believe from what I heard that the judges, I don't think they had a lot of time to prepare this event, or the event staff to prepare for this event. And if you want me to be perfectly honest with you, 14 hours to run a 9-round event is not that uncalled for. Yeah, that one is not that unheard of for a thing like this. So I think that things went pretty smooth. Player base, just stop trying to roast the judges. I think they did their best for this event. given the cards that they were dealt with literally, a week and a half, a week later, adjusting an actual event to this. So I think everything went pretty smooth, all things considered. So guys, you got any cool YCS stories, please leave a comment about what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later. There's some more cool awesome content. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.